Hi everyone, welcome back to Side Note with Nora. Today we're talking about more drag queens, and before I can get into all of my favorite drag queens, I feel that we have to introduce Miss RuPaul and talk about her impact and all of that before we get into everyone else that I know from RuPaul's Drag Race. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so let's get into it. So RuPaul was born in 1960 in California, and then as a teenager they moved to Atlanta, and then in the 80s they were living in New York City. So in the 80s in New York City, they became a fixture of the underground club scene during the height of the HIV and AIDS epidemic, which is super important. And she built a career as a drag performer, musician, actor, and television personality long before RuPaul's Drag Race was ever the biggest TV show in the world. So in '92, she appeared in the documentary Wigstock, and she came out with the song Supermodel, You Better Work, in '93. Y'all know the song, everybody knows the song. I know the song because it was in the Hilary Duff movie, but we'll get into that. So anyways, She was really the first drag queen to achieve mainstream international fame. She landed the MAC Cosmetics campaign with the slogan, I am the MAC girl. And she hosted the RuPaul show on VH1, where she interviewed celebrities from Diana Ross to the Backstreet Boys. She appeared in films, television shows, and music videos. And this established something that had been almost unheard of at the time: a drag queen becoming a household name. Okay, this was a big deal. So the MAC Cosmetics moment with her campaign, she became the face of MAC in '94, and it was groundbreaking because a major beauty brand was centering a drag queen at the head of their campaign. And the campaign also raised money for HIV and AIDS organizations, which was so important at the time. It put a drag performer in mainstream beauty culture. Then in 2009, she finally created RuPaul's Drag Race, giving thousands of queens a platform, creating careers, and introducing millions of people to queer art. There were some criticisms around gatekeeping and conversations around trans inclusion, which I believe has been solved to this point. And it just shows how mainstream success can change the subculture of drag queens. And anyone, really. So she had a lovely acting career in the 90s, of course. She was doing Crooklyn, Ed Wood, To Wong Fu, But I'm a Cheerleader, right? These are all things that we've seen and we've seen her in. And then she starred in AJ and the Queen in 2020, which was her actually starring as a drag character in a leading role. The bigger story is that she spent decades proving drag wasn't a nightclub act. It could exist in music, it could exist in film, it could be on television, and part of fashion and makeup, and it eventually became a global entertainment empire. And thank God for that, because I don't know about you, but I'm heavily influenced. Like, I love drag. I love drag. And anyone who doesn't just hasn't seen the show. So for AJ and the Queen, this was my first introduction to RuPaul. I had not seen RuPaul's Drag Race. I grew up in a conservative situation. I was not allowed to watch stuff like that. But somewhere in college, I watched AJ and the Queen, and this is basically RuPaul's character takes in this child who doesn't have anyone to take care of them. And he loves them and nurtures them, and it's really a beautiful story. I thought it was so lovely. And that was my first introduction to RuPaul. Genuinely watched the whole series, appreciated her as a character, as an actor. It was my first close look on her, really, and it was good. It was good. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Netflix doesn't always do it, but they did it at that time. So, the most amazing drag queen in the world, RuPaul made drag visible worldwide, created an entire generation of stars, changed what a drag queen could be, brought queer language into the mainstream, and became a symbol of LGBTQ+ progress all over the world. RuPaul's career spans a huge cultural shift. Think about the contrast. In the 1980s, drag was often underground, queer performers faced heavy stigma, the AIDS epidemic devastated communities, people were scared to be around gay people. But then by the 2010s, a drag queen was hosting a major Emmy award-winning reality show. Drag artists are now celebrities, and queer performance is globally recognized. Now, you can watch season after season of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars, RuPaul's Drag Race UK, RuPaul's Drag Race Canada, RuPaul's Drag Race Untucked, RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Untucked, and there's season after season of all of them. And it keeps continuing because it seems niche, but it's not. It's such a huge group of people that love drag. And as you can see, it continues to grow. So now you can find RuPaul on all those shows. You can find her music on Spotify. And she's on TikTok making either really stupid, silly stuff or teaching you how to change a tire. So she's still teaching us what to do and how to do it. So thank you, Miss RuPaul. We love you. That's all I have to say about that for today. So thank you for watching. I hope you come around next time. I'm actually going to be getting into something a little bit more serious. So stay tuned for that. I hope it's not boring. I think it's important to talk about. So thank you and have a good night. I love you. Ciao.